XR0R_404X cheered. X50. You're muted.
Thanks. Anyway, how's everyone doing today? I got to take a nap before streaming, and I actually didn't oversleep this time, which is pretty nice. I also need to do some adjustments to the model because the mouth tracking is not going to be as tight today. It'll just take me a second. How was your day? It was all right. I just need to make an adjustment here. I was doing some experimentation. There it is. Okay, so I need my thing reminded me I needed to schedule my appointment. That's a weird input. Really don't have a lot of good options here. It's either just Okay. I think this will help. I've had the setting on before. The problem is it's very sensitive for reasons I don't understand. Maybe if I turn the gain down, that might help it a bit. It's hard to say. It's hard to say what will make that work. Let's see. Does this work? What about this? I'm not sure. I think I'll need to ask Blossom to give me a hand with this because it's weird. It is a very weird thing. Okay, everything's all set up. Speaking of Blossom, I see you're in chat. I know you're waiting for your opportunity. Now the question is, how long will it take? How long will it take before she's like, "Hey, loser, get rated, nerd," because she's like that. She does that kind of crap. It's how she is. Anyway, oh yeah. So we will probably just do the daily doodle today. I don't really have an excuse. There's not really an excuse. It's just more of a, I think that's what I'm just going to do. Good afternoon, listening in from work again. Well, be sure to keep the volume down low. Don't let people find out. And if I say something funny, try not to laugh. I've made that considerably worse by, you know, the funniest thing about when someone says don't try not to laugh is the fact that the act of trying not to laugh is going to inherently make you want to laugh. So good luck with that. All right, hang on. I'm going to pull Blossom's stream up because she was talking about rating earlier. Let's see. Her and Goodish seem to be still doing their thing. I can tell Blossom has my stream up. All right. I'm going to try something and see if it messes with her. Let's see. And I'm just not paying attention. Blossom's not paying attention. Say hi to stream. Nah, I think I like doing this more. You're in my stream. I'm wondering if she can hear me. Can you hear me? I'm alone. Hang on, I'm gonna send this. Let's see. Let's see how she sends to that one. All right. All right. She's going to raid me probably in a couple of minutes, so it'll be one of those things. I'm going to do something probably not smart. I'm putting the music onto track 2 so that it plays on YouTube and Twitter. So, here's today's theme. Today's theme is YEET, because I thought it would be really funny. If you couldn't figure out from the title, yes, I am basically, I have a vision. I have an image in my mind that I want to give this a go because I think it will be funny. So first things first, this is going to be one of those rare instances where I set the stage first. The impression that this is relatively large in size. There we go. You took a while. I figured you'd want to try to be quicker about it, but I guess you were feeling a little bit more. Ow. That was uncalled for. Ow. I'm kind of busy. Would you mind not being nuisances while I'm working? Trying to figure out how to get a better sense of scale for this. I think maybe the angle I have isn't quite right. Let me try a different angle. Maybe if I did something like this and just remove the ground entirely so that it's just a straight up view. Yeah, that's better. That's a lot better. Sometimes it's the simple things that just need it beat. Be much like how Blossom treats me. The funny thing is I'm in OpenVC and like Blossom has every opportunity to pop in here, but she's not going to, which is a tragedy. Panzer hasn't showed up despite his numerous threats. I'm not going to be like Blossom. I'm not going to say something outlandish like Panzer is a coward and would not try to do this. I would not actually come in and do all the things that he said he was going to do because he doesn't actually mean them and just wants to frighten me. I'm not dumb enough to say that it, like in an earnest manner of being a simulation of Blossom. And I doubt anybody has the, brain power or capacity, especially not Blossom, to clip that out of context and send it over to Panzer. I'm certain that's not a thing that's going to happen at all. The funny part is, it probably isn't going to happen because Blossom probably absconded to go and do some stuff and is just lurking in the chat room right now. So I'm weirdly A-okay. What are we working on today? Read the title. If you've been keeping up with the daily doodles, you'll get what this is about. If you haven't been keeping up with the daily doodles, every day I do a single theme. I use a single word as a sort of subject theme for the day, and then I make a image from that, or I make an image based around that, or what that word made me think of whenever I was whenever I make the doodle. I imagine people are not seeing the vision just yet because they're just like, what are you drawing? What does this have to do with YEET? Give it, have some patience. Give it time. You'll see the vision soon enough. All right, now let's do some overall. That's trajectory. You'll see. Just give it time. You'll see the vision. All right. Ah, it's gotten quiet again. This is usually how art streams tend to go. I wish I could be more talkative for art streams. But the kind of things I do, I don't know what to talk about because I get full brain off moment and I'm just like, peace and quiet, pleasant and calm. Because I'm not really thinking. I'm just kind of doing. I need to work on some elements here and there. The wall looks a little wobble. Now let's do some general adjustment. I get ya. I enjoy going into that Zen sort of drawing state. It's very pleasant. It's just calm. Try that again. Actually, let's just try doing a mass warp instead and seeing if that is going to yield smoother results. That'll do. I think that'll do. Just one more tiny adjustment to help give it that little bit of all right, there we go. And that'll be our backdrop. Now for the funny part. Now this will be tricky because I'm not used to doing a pose like this, but I think I'll be able to get it. It's going to require me to do a couple of little adjustments here and there, but the throwing motion is the thing that's gonna be tricky for me, I think. I think the blur effect is really gonna be the main thing that I'm gonna need to really put to that. Yeah, this is a great idea. This is why you don't let Gresha and Stab have plans. You gotta nip it in the bud right before they do something like this. Leave those two alone too long and you'll end up with some interesting outcomes, to say the least. I'm really not sure how to get that rowing motion. I'll need to figure that out. That's what the point is. The point is to challenge. Pressure needs to be a little bit beefier. That should do. I'll figure out the more refined motion a bit later, but and I have two poses in mind, and I don't know which one's funnier. I could have him being lunged like in a planking motion, which is flippin' hilarious, or I could have him just flying like knives out, like ready to. I think I'm gonna do the knives out pose because it's really funny. in the same layer? I am. Sorry, I'm just a little big. I'll make a adjustment to that. Little dude is just like, it's like, Gresha, throw me. Gresha, I have a plan. I'm already on it. Gresha, I have a fantastic idea. Way ahead of your little buddy. Meanwhile, Luke and Holly in the back. What are you doing? Like an idea so stupid, even Luke is like, nah, man, we can't do this. That's dumb. And Luke is the king of bad ideas. As any good leader should be, the king of bad ideas. No Panzer, no problem. Question is, can I finish this before he shows up? That's the real question. How long will it take before he either shows up or someone out like contacts him and goes, "Hey, dude, you forgot you forgot about this guy," and I'm just like, "Yes, let him forgore." Oh man, I forgot. I forgot to eat. I'll have to do that later. Let's do some general adjustments to make it fit well into the scene. I've got to put like some guards or something up on the top of this wall, just like just a couple of guards on the top of the wall, just like, oh, we've made a critical lapse in judgment. Go get stab, I choose you. just the utter shock and horror on his. Luke is just like, nah, I don't think that one works. I think maybe just a general curl, like. Huh. I just had the strangest craving for French fries. That is so out of pocket. Just a very random craving for French fries. That is probably because I am hungry. Shame it took me this long to realize that. Right, now we can do some overall. It's around to kind of better. Not the best angle I think I've done of this poor guy, but well. You gotta try different things to get better. His head might look a little too big for the scene. Let me shrink it down a little. Do a light distortion. What is that? I think that looks a bit better. He just needs to be a little taller so that we can fit Holly into the shot. Right? Had a random craving for cream soda just a bit ago. Haven't had one of those in a while. I don't think I can recall having a cream soda. Sounds nice though. I probably have had one. I just don't remember it. Poor Holly is just like just poor Holly is just odd. Okay, that's a little low. Easy fix though. Also, her ears a little too small. Holly looks like she's about to have a freaking heart attack. It's like, did you just throw him over the wall? They were mocking us. Gresha, why would you do this? They were mocking us. I think the mouse doesn't look quite right. I wonder if maybe just... No, it needs to kind of just be white out, I think. Some of the eyes could be a bit bigger, give that sense of terror. There we go. I think that's looking about right. Ollie out here just developing too many problems. All of them originating from these idiots. Okay. Once this is done, we'll have the baseline pretty much done, and then it's just about getting all the details right. gonna just change this a little bit. And then push this. Cool. Let's do a couple of warps. I think her head maybe needs to be a bit lower onto her shoulders. I'm gonna try a different eye style, just to see how it looks. Not sure the big bubble eyes, the big bobbly eyes is the way to go yet. So I'm gonna try a different mouth as well. I like the expression, but I don't think it, maybe it doesn't suit Holly as much. So I think her ears need to come in a little bit more. This one, I didn't mean. Yeah, that looks, I think, a little better. I really like that expression, but I see your point. I think this next one, sometimes simplicity is key. A lot of the times, simplicity is key. Let's try being a little bolder with the eyes. There we go. That's the look I'm looking for. Just the Let's see about her position. I think she needs to be a bit further off to here. Maybe not that way. Right there. Nope. Come on, snap. There we go. All right, let's get the lantern and hat in. They take up a good proportion. now let's get it. That bang should actually be going down a bit more. A little weird of an angle. Holly is going to have a few wrinkles by the time she's 30. I'm having too much fun making them having them all be in funny, wacky positions, because this is what it feels like to be in a tabletop game. You never know what to expect. Literally anything can happen. What game are you looking forward to this year? I didn't even. Oh, you were talking to Blossom. Okay, never mind. I thought that was to me for a second. All right, now Gresha is gonna be the one that's gonna need the most attention. I think the hand position is also like the pose it's in is gonna also help with that. Need to have a kind of dominant art for this. Let's take this off for a moment. Oh, it was on the same layer. Oops. Let's try and take some of these and give them some more oomph to their shape. Let's see. Does that make it better? I think it helps it a little bit. I think maybe that will help it out a little. Yeah, that help gives it that punch, that push through to really make it feel like you're to get going through. That made no sense. I'm sorry. The point is, it gives it the impact, that sense of origin. Let me try. This is gonna be a bit of trial and error on my part. And come on, stop being goofy. Right, so that works for Luke. I need to get the one for Holly, which means I'll probably need to redraw a couple of spots for her. She needs to be like off in the distance, about here-ish. I think I need to push it a little bit further so that she looks like she was really off to the side investigating the wall. Yeah, there we go. think the glasses maybe need to fly off of her face a little bit more than the. I think they're too close. It's too subtle. There we go. Just Holly looks like she's about to have a heart attack. I love it. All right. Let's get broad strokes of the background. I think I definitely need to add some guards. I think it'll enhance the humor a little bit because they wouldn't be like, they wouldn't expect something so stupid to happen, and yet here we are. All right, I'm gonna add some guards and maybe a rail. I think a rail at the top would have helped out a bit. Nah, I think we'll be fine with that though. Just stab, just like, I've had enough of your crap. This poor guy. I didn't expect that. You're not supposed to do that. Switch. Just this guy on the wall just wait a minute. Just just this poor guy. He thinks he's totally fine. Little did he know, they're freaking crazy. I think him like leaning on the wall, like reclining, is what makes it really humorous, because you can kind of get the vibe that he was like bragging and like just being a general jerk. And then Gresha and Stab coming in with the yeet. They said, "We've had enough of that crap." They don't take kindly to the hamster and elderberry insult. I don't know that one. I imagine that's like an in joke, but I don't recognize it. Sorry. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I haven't seen that in a while. I've seen it, but I haven't seen it in a while. I don't quite remember the gag. There's a scene where someone is taunting knights from the top of a castle. Yeah, I know the scene you're talking about. I just don't remember what the joke was. Because I know the joke. There was a thing there. But I don't remember what the joke was exactly with the whole, like, hamster elderberry thing. Because that's sort of the thing with a lot of Monty Python humor. It's very in the moment type thing. Kind of have to be present for it, I suppose. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of ah, yes. Now okay, thank you. I couldn't remember that. It was just so right. It wasn't a joke. It was just straight up them just being jerks. Go get him, Stab. You got this. I have full faith in you. Just an image of Stab just wait a minute, do I have that on my soundboard somewhere? If I don't have it, it's gonna be disappointing. Like, do I not have it? Let me see. I sadly do not have it on my soundboard, not prepped. That is a shame. That's a tragedy. Let's see how this looks. Okay. Pretty solid. Stab coming in with the I'ma get you. This here. This is why you ever heard the guards about to be guards about to be stabbed TN. Like, the hell did you say to my friend? Stab is not having any of that crap. Did you just trash talk my friend? I'm good. I will cut you. Stab out here ready with the London special. Just he looks so ready to murder. He's so ready to just commit heinous crimes. And I'm all for it. I am absolutely for it. It's so funny to me. Oh, above my microphone. I think. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for the hydrate. I love the look of that card. Just, oh, it's like I have made a critical lapse in judgment. Oh dear, I appear to have underestimated my adversary, and thus have led myself into a situation I was not even remotely prepared for. Truly, it is the hubris of man that is his downfall. Alright, now let's get Luke. We're only an hour and 30 minutes in. I'm kind of surprised. I thought it would take me longer to get to where I'm at. I'm gonna do something stupid because nothing has happened for the past hour and 30 minutes when it comes to Panzer. And I'm just like, do I poke the bear? Do I? It'd be really funny. The temptation is so tantalizing. Alright, I'm gonna poke the bear a little. I don't think nothing's gonna happen. Wait. Alright, I'm gonna do something really stupid. I'm gonna do something that I'm gonna regret. I know I'm gonna regret this, but you know what? It's too funny not to do it. But you know what? It's too funny. So first things first, I'm gonna just quickly do this. Where is it? There it is. It's been pretty fun just having a nice, quiet art stream where I get to draw my funny little characters and Panzer doesn't show up. It's so nice that he doesn't show up because it means I can just relax after he constantly has made it to where I am just like, oh no, I'm in danger, but I'm totally fine. I'm gonna clip that and I'm gonna send it to Panzer because it'll be funny. Why am I outing myself? Why am I doing this? I am outing myself because it's going to give me a laugh. Hang up your coat and halo. Alright, you're gonna hear this for a bit. Okay, hang on, it's not. Oh, right, I can't make clips because Twitch sucks when it comes to me doing multi-streams and trying to get a clip. Blang. Dang it. Twitch, come on. Come on, just give me a clip. Lex. Twitch. You know, it's lagging so bad. Wait. You know, it's been pretty fun. Just let me just skip to the end. Hopefully it'll load. Come on. Twitch, stop being garbage and work with me. Oh no. Oh. Twitch hates working with VTubers. I'm convinced that this is VTuber discrimination. This is VTuber discrimination at its intense. That's what this is. I'm gonna clip it. You know, and this thing's taking forever. At least you guys have a funny image to look at. You know, wait. It didn't even play at the right time interval that I set it to. Oh no, I'm in danger, but I'm totally fine. You know, all right. Now let's see how long it takes for it to actually save the clip. Oh, it was a wall? Did you not realize it was a wall? I mean, it's a rough sketch, I get that, but come on. I'll be adding some details to kind of help it out. Some scratches and buffs and roughs and whatnot. All right. Let's see how long it takes before Panzer shows up. If at all. He might be busy today. And that's probably an advantage in my part. Man doesn't show up because he's like, hey, I'm good because I am busy. He kept saying Monday was gonna be the day, but I'm just sitting here like, it's been an hour. It's been like an hour and 30 minutes and nothing's happened. Usually he's so on point. If I could call him out on a him not being able to do anything, I'm going to take the opportunity to do so. It's too fun not to. Okay, so he's not busy today. So I poked the bear and the bear woke up. I was gonna be nice and not make you a victim today. What? You went and said you were all of last week. You were like, come Monday, you're in for it. Come Monday, you're in for it. All of last week, you were all about that. And you just suddenly, quietly are like, I think I'll let it be nice and calm today. And then you're just, that's not fair. I thought you were like asleep or something. I thought you were like taking a break or away or anything else. I didn't think you were just being like, oh, I'm just gonna not bother him today because I think it'll be funny. I built him up this whole time and now it's just like, oh. I thought about it and was like, nah, I gave him. All right, okay, but no. Now listen, hang on a minute. Listen, it can still be a nice. You're now a victim. Now hang on before we do anything rash. Before we have any crazy outcomes that could possibly or possibly not happen. Let's take this into consideration here. Like you just said, you've given a lot. You've given so much. I also don't have my usual way of getting back at you. So it would be really great if you didn't do anything. Because I can't do anything back other than spout ideas. That's about the most I can do right now is just be like, oh, I could add this or this or this, but I can't actually do any of that until I finish my commission work. So maybe reconsider. Hang on, I gotta check Thrones really quick because he has a fast link to my Throne account. I gotta. Did he do anything? You have not convinced me. Throne looks to be okay. Nothing has happened so far, but the key word of that being so far, so I'm just going to be on edge for the rest of the stream. Fantastic. Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, truly it is the hubris of man that is his downfall. Maybe if I just stay quiet and do what I've been doing, nothing bad will occur. Well, then again, what's happening isn't bad. It's just panic-inducing. I'ma now take a nap. Just know I'll be here, and you can no longer fight me to my antics. So you're not gonna do anything. You're good. You're just gonna chill and go take a nap, right? That's what you're doing. You just not. Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna pull a Blossom and actively, and this is just an example. What I'm about to do is an example. It's not me actually saying it, so no one take it out of context. I'm not gonna pull a Blossom and go, Panzer is a freaking coward. He wouldn't do it. He's not going to end up doing anything because he's a freaking coward and wouldn't otherwise do anything. He just bluffs all the time just to get me panicked. But I calling him out on his bluffs. That's a Blossom thing to say. A thing that I'm not dumb enough to say without it being a reference to Blossom and not a thing that I personally am actually saying. Anyway, let's get back to the art. I still can't let that slide. It was just an example. I know characters all share a part of their creator, and now I've seen the stab part of Astral. Listen, all right, art imitates life, and I'm about to, and I use myself as reference quite a lot, I guess. Why don't you go? I'm bored. I'm gonna cause some chaos. Listen, isn't that just like the human condition? Like, that's just the human condition. Anyway, let it slide, Panzer. It was just an example. It was just an example of how Blossom acts and how I wouldn't, I'm not going to be the kind of person that acts that way. It was just an example, Panzer. I've been lurking and I'm so confused as to what's happening, Astral. Panzer shows up and it panics me because the man just, for some reason, has decided that I'm the VTuber that he adopted. If there's one thing I've seen that's a very constant reoccurring thing with VTubers in my personal experience is that for some reason, people of the military seem to really like VTubers, veterans specifically. And for some reason, veterans just love to take their disposable income and throw it at people like me. And I'm like, why? Why have I been adopted? Why am I one of those rare VTubers that got adopted by a freaking vet? OIC. For a hot minute there, I did not know what that acronym stood for until I spoke it and was like, oh. Huh. That's an acronym I actually could understand. I usually suck at those. Let me try that again. Love the Doodle theme. I'll hang out for a bit and God bless. Thank you. Thanks, Creepy. Ink. How do I pronounce your name again? Inkazure? Inkazure? I don't know how to pronounce your name. I know I don't catch many of your streams, but art looks good as usual. Have you seen the daily doodles? I post them up on I post them in the Discord and on Twitch. You can just call me Inka. Okay. But have you caught any of the daily doodles? Have you seen any of them? I have not seen the doodles. Okay, I'll catch you up with just the recent ones with this funny group that I've got. I don't mind taking a short breather to share because I love sharing. So today's theme is YEET. I probably will change it to being I'll probably change it to being toss, because yeet is funny, but it's a bit more of a meme word, and I'd prefer it to be like an actual word if possible. But so going through each one, let's see. We'll start with the first one with this group, because I feel like this group has been the subject matter for most of these themes. Here we go. So first, let me switch this off. Eat is actually a word. I know it's a meme word. I don't know if it's an actual word is the thing. Like, I understand like slang terms do eventually make their way into being words, but So here's the first day with adventure. The theme for that day was adventure. And I came up with all 4 of these goobers on the spot, and I love them. I love them all. In order, we have Luke the Human Fighter. It's officially a word now. We have Luke the Human Fighter, Gresha the Orc Barbarian, Holly the Halfling Cleric, and Stab the Goblin Rogue. Yes, his name is Stab. So a bit of context. I'm working on a homebrew world, and a couple of details. Now, in this first image, I didn't put it on Gresha just yet, but I did later on. So orcs are a lot like pigs, specifically boars, and they have like a coarse fur on their backs, arms, and legs, and they have a lot of boarish features. So that detail gets put on Gresha pretty much all the time now, other than in this first one. And the funny one is, goblins in my homebrew world, they're not born sentient. An event occurs that causes them to become self-aware, and they latch on to the first couple of words they hear, the first thing they experience, and they'll usually pick one of the first words they hear to be their name. And in Stab's case, one of the first words he ever heard when his brain turned on was stab. I won't provide the context as to what the context of him hearing the word stab was, but he liked the word enough that he stuck to it. So there's that. And then we had the next day after that, which was encounter. where I started doing more background stuff, more set pieces. And of course we had the group encounter 3 kobolds in a trench coat, a slime king, and a swole mimic. Also, the reason they all have knives is because they stole Stab's knives, which is why he's all screamy in the back, why he's just like he's just having a bad day. He's a screamy boy. And then we had the day after that, which was the classic D&D tabletop enemy that stops all parties, the door. The door stops the entire session for so long. And we just got Gresha bashing her head into the wall, trying to figure out a way to get through this situation. We've got Stab, like, looking at all of his broken lockpicks. And then you have Holly, the reasonable one. Has anyone just tried opening it? And then there's Luke, the fearless leader of the group. We've been at this for 4 hours. I had so much fun with this one. This one was a fun one. And then we had the day after, which was a cute little one that I did, which was Campfire. And this was the piece where I officially started thinking more about their characters and personalities a bit more. How they interact with each other. I decided to make Holly and Luke a couple because I thought it was cute. And I also decided to have Stab and Gresha have a sort of brother-sister relationship. So Stab and Gresha view each other like siblings, like very antic siblings. And these two are an actual couple. And I just thought that was cute. And I decided I wanted like a nice wholesome moment with them all just camping together. I'd probably do a lot if I did this another time. Like if I did this concept again, I could probably do a much more refined, less rough version of it because I've been getting better at these. And then the day after was Hunger. We sort of have a food chain line going on here with the shrimp running away from the fish and the fish trying to eat the shrimp but also running away from the gator. And the gator, usually the apex predator, is suddenly very surprised to find that it is no longer the apex predator. Gresha said, "I'm hungry. Get in my tummy." And then you got Stab just in the back, just like, "Oh boy, we're going to have some lunch." I just had a lot of fun with this one because Gresha, it goes introducing a foreign apex predator. And then the day after, this one was a fun one. I decided to do one for the 3 main things. So each day I did one for each of the 3, which is healer, tank, DPS. But for DPS, I went with attacker because DPS is 3 words. Invasive species. So this theme was healer. She is the healer, and she has to keep these numbskulls alive. And remember, Gresha is a barbarian. Her whole objective is to get hit because of her massive HP pool. And then there's Stab, the rogue, made out of wet paper mache. So the running gag, this was the start of the running gag of Stab constantly being near death. But you've just got Luke, just great job. We couldn't have done it without you. And then you just got Gresha, thanks for the heals. I almost died there. And then there's just poor Holly. I need a break. And of course there's Stab. I'm laughing because if I cried, it would hurt too much. Oh boy. And then we had the day after, the next one, which was Tank, which is just Gresha straight up eating the attacks of the enemies, just full on handling that. And of course, you've got these numbskulls in the back. Told you she could take it. And then you got just Luke. All right, you win this bet. Gresha just, I can do this all day. Originally, I had Gresha refer to herself as I, but now as I develop their characters more, I decided to have Gresha speak from a third person perspective. So she's going to speak more like Gresha don't like that, stuff like that. And then you've just of course got Holly. Gresha! Just why? I also misspelled Gretcha. I spelled Gretcha instead of Gresha. I put a C instead of an S. That was my B. And then of course we've got the last one, which is attacker, which of course is meant to just be an alternative way to say DPS. So you've got Luke here being the main DP, sort of being the main guy for DPS, but Stab is also the DPS. And the problem with Stab being DPS is the simple fact that Stab is made out of paper mache, and once again the running theme continues. You almost died trying that, but it was cool. I also just had a lot of fun with this shot. I had a fun time just working out the composition of the piece, as well as just wanting to try and do like this fun attack slash thing. I don't think it's the best thing I could do. I need to study a little bit more to get better at making like attack stuff. I'll need to get some references and study it to get better at it, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite fun. And then of course we have, this one was kind of a lighter one that I did for the day, which was slime, which I brought back these two little goobers. I love these little goobers. They're a couple of slimes that I came up with back when I was in college, and I loved them as a design point. So I just decided to reintroduce them here. And you've just got them just walking along trying to get out of a forest, and you just see these two little slimes just hiding away. They don't want that smoke. I love this one. This one was Feast. So I have it as a canonical thing in my homebrew world that healing magic burns through your metabolism hyper fast. So it's it doesn't make you like tired or anything. It just burns your metabolic rate really quickly. And halflings already have a super high metabolism just due to their ancestry. So halfling plus healer equals can out eat the entire party. And I just love Luke's expression, because Luke is like, that's his girlfriend, and he's just like, oh my gosh, how am I going to afford this? I love Gresha, just like, where is she putting all that? And there's Stab, just, I don't know if we're gonna be able to afford it. I love Stab's modest plate of beans, bacon, and eggs. And then you've got flipping Holly with her biscuit, her third pint of ale, a stuffed chicken, a full ham, a loaf of bread, a burger, a bowl of stew, and 4 empty plates of who knows what. Girl can put food away. And then of course we've got honestly, I love this one. It was the first time I got to actually draw her. Holly uses magic like the Flash in a weird way, kind of, but not quite. But I get what you're getting at, where it's like the Flash's powers burn up his metabolic rate. But anyway, I went with Bath because I thought it would be really cute. I was talking with Dad Stroll the other day, and he brought on that concept, and I thought that's adorable. So I decided to do like this whole thing where Gresha and Stab are a little reluctant. Stab's not a little reluctant, he's very reluctant. But this was the first opportunity I had to actually draw Holly's figure. She's usually in robes, so she often looks very overly chibi-esque compared to the others. Like the others are chibi-esque, obviously, but her, because of her robes, a lot of her figure is hidden. So right here, you could actually see she does actually have like a curvy figure, but that she's also a little chubby. I wanted her to be a little chubby because she's so cute. Like, she's so cute. I wanted her to be a little chubby. Your art is very satisfying. You have a great sense of form, line weight, and composition, and you capture expression really well in your character's stances and expressions. I try my best. I studied a lot of back in high school, I studied a lot of poses and how poses can really push for an expression and make things feel, it really helps push their personalities. I'm not the best at it just yet, but I want to get better at it, but I like to think I'm decently good. And as for my line art, I've practiced my line art for so long. I've practiced it for such a long while, and this is my sketch line art. I consider myself being a lot better at my sketch line art than I am at my line art. I need to practice and get better at my line art as opposed to my sketch line art. But yeah, I love doing little sketches like this. And of course, we have yesterday's, which is possibly one of my favorites, which is family. Because this group is definitely like when I had them to, initially, I didn't think of it, but they're definitely like a found family type group where it's just like, I love the concept because Gresha's a hugger. I stated that before. Like Gresha, she don't do that weak crap. She goes in for the full hug, and she's just like, Gresha loves you guys, and just I love just all of them being like a big found family. I'm always a big fan of like those types of stories where you've just got like all of them are together. They have their ups, they have their downs, they bicker, they fight, but they're all together on it. One of the things I have, because they're going to be characters in the homebrew world that I'm working on, is which I'm calling Resets Defects, is that these I have I'm stuttering a bunch. I have a bunch of homebrew deities that are in there. I say a bunch. It's technically 3 primary ones that are the big deal. There's a bunch of other faiths and religions that sort of revolve around various things, because the way I handle clerics and champions is they don't get their power from a deity. They get their power from faith. And that's a key thing I wanted to point to is in Resets Defects, it is not a deity that grants you power. So a cleric doesn't get power from, like, say, Cardia, which is one of the deities, who is the deity that governs the human concept of the heart and personal emotional expression. So things like emotions, expression, vibrancies, passions, such like that. A person could worship Cardia, but it is not Cardia herself that gives them power. It is their faith in Cardia that gives them power. That's how it works. And that's why whenever they perform an anathema to a deity, something that they have a faith, it makes them bring into question their faith. And that's why they get weaker and are penalized for committing anathemas, because they know what those anathemas are, and therefore when it's like when somebody sins, like they recognize it's sin and they have regret and repentance for it. And the idea is like the repentance aspect of it is what helps restore faith. So that's kind of how I've decided to handle like champions and clerics or anything that's associated with like the divine. It is your faith that gives you strength, not the deity themselves. Though the deity themselves can grant blessings and whatnot, but those are separate from the actual like clerical powers and champion abilities that they would have. It's something I gave a lot of thought to, just so that everyone could have a lot more fun with the when they make their characters for the stories and whatnot. That's a very cool world concept. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun coming up with Resets Defects. I'm not going to reveal too much about it just yet, but if and when I manage to get the actual thing out, then hopefully I will be running a game by then. Are you going to turn TTRPG games into your world? Oh, ad jail. That's no, ad jail. I'll have to wait till you get back. I'll wait till you get back before I answer that. I started getting autistic hyperfixating on the world building stuff that I was doing. That's my B. I didn't mean to go on such a large tangent there. I just wanted to show off the doodles, but then we got brought up. It got brought up. I know I'm the one that brought it up, but it was like, it still happened. Have you been freed from ad jail yet? No, you got, I have a timer literally right next to me. How did I not realize that? 8 seconds. All right, are you back? You back from ad jail? Y'all good? We back from ad jail? We back from ad jail. Okay. So your question was, are you going to turn TTRPG games into your world? I'm not I'm trying to figure out how the phrasing of that question works together, because you're saying am I going to run TTRPG games? Oh, okay, yeah, duh. Am I going to run TTRPG games in the world I'm making? Yes, that is the idea, is I want to run games in Reset's Defects, because it's something I can be completely familiar with, and it's not nearly like, one of the things I prefer about a homebrew world is because obviously it's not going to be nearly as in-depth as, say, like Forgotten Realms or Avernus, other various things. Back in Black. I'm glad you enjoy making little drawings with these characters, because I enjoy seeing them. Well, thank you. I'm trying to get them to be seen more, is the thing. I'm posting them on Twitter as much as every single day. Like, I'm doing a daily thing, so I'm doing at least one post every single day. But it doesn't seem like the outreach is really getting out there. I'm trying to figure out ways that I can reach out to more people. I want people to see my stuff so that I can share more of it. Like, I like making art, and one of the problems, like, that's the big thing, that's always the big hurdle, is getting it out there, getting it to be seen. And that's the tricky part. Thanks for sharing the drawings and the concept. It's all right. I like sharing a little too much, honestly. If you stream your TTRPG at some point, I'd love to watch. Well, hopefully, if all goes well, hopefully you'll be seeing me run a short campaign this year, if all goes well. I recently purchased Foundry VTT, and I've been messing around with it. The only things that I need to do left, I can't host Foundry VTT on my PC due to the type of Wi-Fi I have, but I can get a server. There's a server thing available, and it's like $4 a month, which is pretty reasonable. Like, it's something I can handle. I would personally like to just host it myself, but oh well, that's it is what it is. But anyway, that aside, the only thing I need to do is get a server for Foundry for me to be able to run the games on, and then learn how to make maps. Map making is going to be the thing that I think I'm going to need to really sit down and try and learn, because there are a bunch of like little map makers for Foundry VTT. Well, not for Foundry VTT specifically, but there are like a bunch of map makers and whatnot, and I want to look into a few of them. One that Geen, a friend of mine, Geen Tamashi, I'm going to randomly give him a shout out because that's funny to me. Let me make sure I got that right. No, okay, I got the wrong one. Hang on. I put Gint Tamashi. How do you delete a message? Okay, let me try that again. It's Gin Tamashi. Okay, I don't think that's how it's spelled. Where you at, Geen? Where you at? Where my bro at? Where you at? It's Gin Tamashi VT is the thing. He has VT on it. There we go. There we go. So yeah, Gin Tamashi, a fun buddy of mine. He's big into TTRPG games, and he introduced me to a nifty little program. I haven't purchased it myself yet. I'd heard about it, and he highly recommended, he recommended it because he says he uses it, which means if he uses it, it means that I have like someone who can show me the ropes on how to use some of the more the more specific features of the program. But it's called Dungeon Alchemy. It apparently is can work with 3D software as well, so that's something to take into consideration. But yeah, I know of Gin. Cool. But yeah, Gin told me about Dungeon Alchemy. I figure I'll go look into it and see about it. There's a couple of things with Foundry that I want to look into as well. There's I've caught his streams a few times. I forgot what I was saying. Oops. Dungeon Alchemy. Yes, that is the name of the program. I'm getting hit with the hungry. I just love her expression. I love that she's just like, ah! What? I love that she's just like, ah! I got silent there for a bit, but yeah, the only things I really need to learn left for Foundry, because I have a bunch of the modules I like. I've got a bunch of little things that I can tweak and adjust, and obviously I'm still going to be doing that, but those are little details. The real big thing that I need to learn how to do is make maps. Like, I need to learn how to make maps in Foundry and how to run them in games. So I'm gonna do something to help. Ow.
Contrary Wise Owl cheered. X20.
No message, just bits. Got it. Don't make a habit of that, please. Did you draw your VTuber model too? I designed, modeled, and rigged it myself. And it was the first VTuber model I ever made. And it's not just a torso model either. Here's the thing. This is the first model I have ever made. It's a full model. top to bottom, full model. And yes, I am in fact a lot taller than I usually look. When you see me from just shoulders up, I don't look nearly as tall, but I am in fact decently tall. I'm 6 feet. And yes, there's a lot of belts. It's not the most glamorous thing, but I'd say for a first attempt ever, I'd say it's all right. Or at least I'd like to think it's, all right. Given that I had never done it ever before. But yeah, I learned within about a month how to model and rig a VTuber. So I went through the whole process in a month. I just sat down and hyperfixated on it for several weeks. The funny part is I actually figured out how to do all of it like within the first week, but most of the other weeks were just fine tuning and trying to fix little errors that I didn't understand, because you're gonna need to make mistakes to get better. What tracking program do you use? Same one that pretty much everybody with a 2D model uses. I use VTube Studio. Pretty much everyone with a 2D model uses VTube Studio. 3D models, I don't know. I don't have a 3D model, and I don't know if I have the technical capability to make a 3D model yet. All right. That's our 4 main idiots. Excellent. One thing I think helps, if this is just, oops, this is just how I have kind of learned to design some general elements for like environmental stuff and for characters as well. If you want a little tip, a helpful little trick that can help your characters feel more impactful, more real, even if they're cartoonish even if they have a cartoonish style. Here's a way you can make like environments, cartoonish characters, or realistic characters feel more real, like to feel more tangible in their design. Add little imperfections. Don't make everything perfect. If you draw a brick, don't just draw a brick with perfectly smooth faces and edges. Put scratches and cracks, dents and chunks, little details. Make it aged. Like, give it a history. Think about like what it's kind of gone through. Like right here, I'm thinking like this here is a fortress wall. It's not gonna be pristine. It's not gonna be clean. It's gonna have scratches, bumps, and cracked bricks, and maybe even a chunk or something missing out. Like right here, I could think, what if somebody like right here was like trying to drill through it and try to break through it with a pickaxe? Well, I could just create a little chunk like right here and mesh that in with the back, go in and create some general depth, pull that in and create an extra little spot right here. And I could tighten it up just to make sure I know that, hey, this is meant to be going sort of inward pretty far. And I don't want them to have gone all the way through, but I want them to have like made general progress. And I can put a little crack kind of on the edge here because it's obviously not going to be totally through. And then I just shade in this little portion right here, and bam, you've got like a little busted hole in the wall, and it makes it feel more like there's a history here, like something happened to make that hole appear, and that makes it feel like, okay, this has got some history to it. So adding little imperfections like that help give it character. Even like an inanimate object can have more character if it has like a little imperfection. Like a good example, take a teacup and make it look fantastic. Give it some ornaments and whatnot. Give it all the fun details, but then put a scratch along the face. Just a single scratch or a paint stain, or even maybe take a chip out of the handle. Something to show that there was something that damaged it, something that made it have to go through something. When something is pristine and perfect, we don't know its history. We know it's just kept very well, and that's all we'll know about it. That's the innate thing to that. Are random patches where a crack is on the wall to show maintenance? You can have stuff like that too. That is also available. The idea is to don't let something be completely perfect. Give it little imperfections, because that's what gives things character. That's what gives them like history and meaning, and like it lets you know, hey, something happened here. There was something that went down to create this scenario. And another thing that's helpful is try not to make your lines completely perfect. I tend to have a bad habit of doing that a lot of the times, where I'll line up everything too nicely, and it is subtractive. So one of the things you can do is just don't be too afraid to make your lines wobble in some areas here and there. Like on this wall, I plan to just kind of rough out where certain spots have been and give little gaps here and there so that it can be felt. The actual wall and everything like about it can be felt. So there's a little drawing tip for people. If you want something to have a little bit more character in its design or however you want to go for, just add little imperfections. One thing that I think is fantastic is a good practice tool for this is, it's going to sound strange, is drawing elderly people. And I know that sounds very strange. Like, what? Why would that be such a thing? Because you can very easily find like wrinkles, blemishes, like little spots, maybe a scar, maybe the cheeks have puffed out a bit from age, maybe the lobes have drooped a little bit, maybe there's salt and pepper coloring to the hair. You can do all sorts of things because there's so many little imperfections that can give this amount of character. Gotta run. Thanks for the stream. Well, thank you for dropping by. I hope you had a good time. Mole, crow's feet, birthmarks. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna kind of speed through a bit of this. Thanks for the hydrate and the stretch out. Let's see what we got so far. I'd say that's looking pretty solid. I'm gonna add a couple little things along the way. I just love this idiot just thinking he's totally fine up top. Just like, I'm, you fools, I'm on a 40-foot fall. You fools, I am on a 30-foot tall. I am on a wall that is. I can't speak. You fools, I am on a wall 30 feet high. What do you think you can. I didn't expect that. I was not prepared for this situation. They didn't cover this in basic training. I think that is just about the entire thing. All right, how does that look? Excellent, excellent. Now to draw this poor guy who bit off far more than he could chew. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Yep, and you died for it, buddy. Congratulations. Was it worth it? Just wait a minute. He has knives. Would there be a rough random butterfly flying around and having to change course because of stab? That's funny. I don't think it's additive though. One of the things about doing scenes and whatnot is to add stuff that is substantive and add things that are meant to aid to the scene. A funny concept though. I just don't think it would be universally so, like contextually. All right, let's see how this looks. Oh, wait, before I do. All right. Now we just add a few extra little details here and there. I love this pic. This is a good one. This is one I'm having fun with. All right. All that's left now to do is the outline for all the characters so that they have some pop. Some pop to them. Then after this, I'm gonna go get something to eat. And then there's good old Steph. I'll have to do some dash lines per stab. And lastly, the knight. He's more part of the environment, so his line won't be as thick as theirs. I should be laughing at my own damn joke. And lastly, who is that to the right of the knight on the wall? Hang on. Who is that? Okay, Rip, write your sentences, man. Who is that to the right of the knight on the wall? The one with the pole arm. There isn't a person there. That's a trebuchet. I hate the way you word things, Rip. I genuinely do. Like, sometimes when you type, it's like totally, like most of the time when you type, it's like totally normal. And then you'll hit me with something where I'm like, what are you even trying to say? It's like the worst elements of everything. You're making it difficult for me, man. You make it difficult for me. But no, it's just a trebuchet and a cannon. Yeah, I think I'll change it to toss. It's fun, but okay, what the hell? What is this? What is this crap? That's better. Okay, I guess I'll lurk for now. I think this will be the last thing. Then we'll post it. Hey, Otaku. How are you doing? Just dropping in to say hi? All right, there we go. All right, that's today's doodle. Overall, I think it's pretty good. At least I like to think so. But with that, we're gonna go. I just love that, the look on that guard's face. He thought he was totally fine, and then it's like you. It's all fun and games until the barbarian yeets the rogue. All right, let's see who is available for raid. Who's on my raid? Oh, it's Laurie. Not even gonna question it. It's Laurie. Y'all go have fun. She's playing Minecraft. She's a funny little VTuber lady. She's quirky. She's funny, and she hates it when you call her a bean. So be sure to call her that a bunch. Anyway, I'll catch y'all later. Bye bye.